What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be looking at quite a few stocks coming in today, really looking at some large, again, earnings have already kicked off. We saw the banks kind of report a little bit of a mixed bag, but now we're going to be looking at and jumping into basically the technology stuff. We have AMD, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Facebook, BA, some Starbucks, GE, Visa, McDonald's. We have some Eli Lilly, we have some oil stocks going through, but we have a lot of stuff to talk about. A little bit longer video, we're going to be kind of going through some key earnings expectations and going so forth again. So sit back, relax. This might be a little bit long-winded. I do apologize. So again, if you want to fast forward the next 30 seconds, we're going to be talking about an affiliate link for Amazon. Definitely check that out if you want to look at some books that are within trading and investing that I enjoy and I still read and look at for references. Then second is going to be the Tastyworks account. So Tastyworks account is what I use for trading options, stock, and futures. With that being said, if you'd open up an account of $2,000 or more, you have a chance of getting selecting 10 options or 100 shares of stock to start and fund your new account. And again, that affiliate link is down below, and I do greatly appreciate that if you do support the channel. So anyways, without that being further ado, we're just going to jump right into this one. Of course, with the movement in a lot of these stocks, we're going to be kind of looking at the stock itself. Then we're going to be looking at the earnings expectation. We can do that via the Tastyworks account. That affiliate link is down below there. It kind of identifies the potential moves here. With that being said, again, movement going out into the Friday of January 29th. That's really what the options are going to be looking for. For AMD, let's just start off with AMD. They're looking for basically a $7.59 to an $8 move. So you can kind of see that here on the top right-hand side. They're saying plus or minus $7.79. We can also show that if you're on more of the Thinkorswim platform, you see that as well. They're expecting more closer to an $8 move. So looking here on the charts here, with this potential $8 move, we're basically closed at 92.79. Let's just call it 93. So where would a $7, $8 move put us? At $100 potentially to the upside. Again, if AMD blows at the quarter and really just smashes Intel's face further into the ground with their new slightly leading of their processing power and so forth, we can easily see that $100 target. Again, that is a very key resistance level that we've been waiting for, like very patient individuals. Not really. I've been trying to pound that $100 price target for some time. With that being said, we have that squeeze setting up. RSI and volume zone are trying to do so. We had a little bit of issues kind of breaking above that $95 range again. We do have a little bit of overhead pressure around that 97, which was kind of that consolidation where we have not been able to break above. So that's more like the bull case. That's the bull case. Again, the bear case, of course, is it's plus or minus $7, $8. So if it doesn't come into whatever can happen, we could see maybe some downside. And that would kind of put us back into potentially the 89 to 86 percentile or 89 to $86 move here. We have seen this 86 to even the 85 level be some level of support to the downside. But I think if this does get hit with people that could, again, I'm just speculating here, that could ramp up a lot of buying of people. Again, depends on how Lisa Su presents the bad news or the good news. It really kind of comes down to the commentary of that on top of the numbers. Sometimes the numbers can be fantastic, but if the CEO or the executive team, they don't deliver it very well, or it's not real taking, or they don't highlight certain key factors that people should be focusing on, that could be really much of a coin flip. So being a longer term investor in AMD, I have to hold through this. But if you're holding short dated calls, this is something I don't want to be touching with a 10-foot pole. Next one is going to be the old Microsoft. Microsoft. Of course, Microsoft has just been literally, I hate saying that word, but I do all the time here, with this kind of just bouncing around pattern here, not being able to really close and break above 225, even back down to 215. Kind of similar to we saw a lot of these stocks just been bouncing around, meandering, kind of just in a lost sleepwalking mode here, and just not really been able to see any kind of movement. with the pretty large move coming into the early of the week here, jumping up fairly higher, breaking finally above that 225 range, it's closing just ever so slightly above it by like literally 50 cents. With this particular candle, it's not the most positive here, but that being said, with earnings could be a very large catalyst. So what is Thinkorswim saying? They're looking for a move about $10.80, and that's probably going to put in Tastyworks probably within the $9 range. So usually numbers are a little bit lower. They are looking for $9.23. So let's just call it a $10 move within the market. So where would that put us? That would put us up to potentially, again, it's plus or minus, so that movement is just projecting the market makers are looking for a 68 percentile move within the ranges. Again, it's just using the models they have to their disposal. Doesn't mean they have a crystal ball that's going to happen. With that being said, here that could potentially reach that all-time high at $232. Really, maybe potentially even breaking to $235 to the upside. Of course, to the downside, that can bring us all the way back down to that very strong support around 214 to 215 to the downside. Again, earnings is a coin flip. We just talked about with AMD. It just depends on how the information is presented and how that information is intaked by the investors or traders, really. With again, I'm bullish on Microsoft as well. Again, with their adoption of really just pushing out their 365 services, and really with the new Xbox sales, I don't think it's going to really push the numbers that much. It's more going to be their enterprise softwares. Really looking for that 233 even to 240 in some price targets within the next coming weeks if we do get a very strong movement within Microsoft. Again, we'll see how Satya Nadella does with his team over there. Next one is going to be GE. So this is going to be a little bit different one. We're looking at this one. This one has been kind of meandering a little bit. This thing, again, industrial, has kind of come back since the overall virus has been announced and has been kind of slowly taking higher here. It has been kind of just trading sideways. Like we just talked about, a lot of these stocks have been kind of like in sleep mode, hibernation, whatever you want to call it. So remember, bears hibernate, bulls don't. Just a little key fact there. We are having a little bit of issues trying to break above $11.60 here, which is a key fib number. Again, we're looking at this stock was trading around $13 pre the overall massive economic or pandemic that we have or still currently in. With, again, earnings coming out very much of a coin flip. Be very mindful of that. The expected move for these guys is basically $1. All right. Again, it's $1 because it's $11 stock. Okay. So with that potentially looking at here, that's really going to be looking to try to break back to the $12 range and really getting above that. But we have some pretty significant support around that 1029 to 1050 level. So if we do get a pullback here, it has, even on Friday, it came back to the 34 and kind of somewhat touched the parabolic SAR dots there. So with this one, to kind of keep this one in your back pocket and see how that one plays out. Next one we're just going to be jumping into is BA. BA is also will be reporting on Wednesday, I believe, in the morning. So yeah, before the market opens. With this one, very much tied to the resurgence of aircraft sales. They're really just waiting for travel to get really back into the swing of things. Again, this stock was trading around 350. Now it's trading around 200. This went all the way down to $89. Just an FYI, that's pretty insane here. It has been bouncing pretty hard here around that 203 to 202 level, which is the 200 EMA on the daily chart. But we do have some support even to the downside of potentially to 195. So the expected move for this one is around $12. So what is the old Tastyworks saying for this one? They're saying about a $9 move as well. So that's pretty accurate on that sense. So a $9 move could push it back up to the 215 to 220 potentially. We had a little bit of stall out at that 220 to 225. So really important one to look at the key metrics. And this is just kind of one, not just to read the headlines. You have to get a full understanding of the quarter. Again, sometimes the CEO doesn't do a good job presenting that information. Sticking to that same day, we're going to be looking at Apple. Of course, with Apple just having probably the largest holiday sale known to man here, with the, again, everyone, it was an Apple holiday season. Everyone most likely got AirPods, an iPad, or whatever within that range of people just love their products. I'm not saying they're bad products. I just, I'm a Windows guy. Gotcha, Bill. With that being said, we have hit this level here. We finally slightly broke above the previous high here, making it an all-time high as of yesterday. So that's fantastic news for the bulls again. With earnings as well. Again, Tim Cook and company, they have some great products. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they are potentially well lined up, and there could maybe get some announcements of other further developments of products. With that being said, the expected move for that week is basically $9, and Tastyworks is as well as probably around the same price target. We can look at that as well here. They're looking for an $8.50 move, so a little bit lower than the Tastyworks, but again, with Thinkorswim, I mean, but still that would put it up potentially to that 150 range. Nice round number with some longer dated targets for Apple. I'm looking for 166. I own Apple long term, so I'm going to have to hold this through this earnings as well. I'm not going to be playing short dated calls. We do have some pretty strong support coming in around 128 to 125. Those levels, again, the 34 EMA and the 50 SMA, and the parabolic SCR dots are just right in between those. So that could, if we do get a pullback, that could be a nice buying opportunity in that level, unless it's a horrible quarter and they announce that anyone who touches an iPad loses a finger or whatever else. We're going to talk about two more. We're going to be talking about Tesla. Of course, Tesla is also reporting on Wednesday. Again, we're potentially going to be doing a live stream to be talking about all these fantastic stocks. Ever since its inception on the S&P 500, we are seeing it really ramp up here and move higher. But now it's just kind of been like trading sideways, potentially just waiting to run into the quarter here. With no really movement, it's kind of just bouncing around here, kind of consolidating from this large exhausted move, basically from 420 all the way to nearly $900. That sounds insane saying it out loud. So trading around this $846 range. The expected move for the week is $75 for Thinkorswim. Let's see what the old Tastyworks saying for them, that move. They're saying about a $70 move. So that's a pretty substantial move to the downside. We do have some support again coming in around the 21 EMA. We love the 21 EMA on the shorts, on the daily chart here, on all charts really. If we do get a pullback, then we're going to potentially look around that range for 21 EMA. But Tesla, if we have some good numbers, Elon Musk, always entertaining to listen to, this potentially could easily run up to $900. And this could go extremely parabolic, like we've seen multiple quarters really proceed in that. Or they could just downplay it, and we can get a nice correction down to 700, 750, and maybe be buying opportunity for folks that haven't been able to get into it. Next one, and last but not least, oh no, we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do the old Facebook. What the hell has been a V-shaped recovery here with earnings coming out on Wednesday after the close as well. This thing looks pretty prime here. We've bounced in right into that $275 range, which was previously resistance to support. This thing kind of been beaten down a little bit here. The expected move for these guys is basically $20, and the old Tastyworks, again, affiliate link down below if you want to open up an account, is around 18. So let's just call it 20 bucks to be, because we're all friends here. So 20 bucks what we're currently looking at is boom, boom, boom. The previous high basically in the short term around 295 potentially. But if we get fantastic numbers, of course, with potentially growth in ad revenue, with business trying to advertise new products, all this kind of stuff to kind of get people back into wasting their stimulus check, we could easily see this pump up to 300 would be, excuse me, a nice round number. To the downside, we have some pretty strong support around 250, following around that 200 EMA. So we have the 200 EMA, the 78.6 extension on a Fibonacci, and parabolic SCR dots. All right, folks, I want to end it there. I want to say thank you for stopping by. Check out those affiliate links down below, and again, catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.